Hello, my name is Andrea Polverini. I'm a neuro-language coach and a life coach at PA Language Coaching. And today I'm here with you to tell you about an event I'll be hosting in a couple of days. And that will be on Wednesday, the 31st of May. So this coming Wednesday, the event is going to take place at 4 p.m. GMT plus 2. And the event is called Leggere o non leggere, which literally into English would be translated as to read or not to read. And it's basically an event foot for those who want to improve or get a little bit of practice in Italian. So basically, during this event, we will be reading a book, and the book is just an excuse to stimulate some speaking in Italian. So we are currently reading a novel called Aglio, Olio e Assassino, which translated into English is garlic, aglio, olio, oil, and murderer, assassino. Okay, that is a kind of a pun based on on a very typical Italian recipe for pasta, which is aglio, olio, e peperoncino. Garlic, oil, and chili peppers. And basically, just to tell you very briefly what this story is about, the story takes place in Naples. And one day, a young man is found dead in his apartment in Naples in very strange circumstances. The man is completely naked, and he's lying facing down on his bed. And underneath his body, there is a frying pan with some oil, garlic, and chili peppers, and hence the title Aglio, Olio e Assassino. This novel is written by Pino Imperatore, and despite the scene I've just described to you, it is a detective story definitely, but it is also a novel with a certain amount of humor. It's a reading. It's a novel which is very easy to read. Actually, I found it a very light and entertaining reading. I must say that have actually used the novel. I read the novel. I used not the book itself, but I used an audiobook. So that's why I know what the novel is about. But yes, I'm now using the novel with the attendance of my event, and the dialogues are very entertaining. In this novel, there is actually Italian is mixed with a little bit of the local dialects from Naples, and so as I said, there was a murder, and there is a young inspector in charge of investigating on the murder. And the inspector, who recently came back to Naples, where he was born, starts to have his meals in a restaurant which is nearby the police station. And so he starts to go often to this restaurant, and he meets the family running the restaurant. So they start to become acquainted. They start to know each other, and somehow the family helps out the inspector in the investigation in an informal way. So as I said, it's a nice story. Dialogues are very interesting. The story is an opportunity to learn some new vocabulary for the event's attendants. I'm here to help you out with anything which is in dialect. I'm not from Naples, but I'm able to understand the a little bit of dialect which is used in the novel usually. And this brings me actually to the next point of this little introduction to Wednesday's event, is who generally attends this kind of event. Well, I host every week an event, not exactly like this one, but similar events to help people find a relaxed, safe, and friendly place to practice Italian. So the idea behind an event like this is actually providing my clients and providing who else is interested in improving their Italian, or getting familiar with Italian if you're just starting off. So helping these people to find the right place to do that. So the people attending my events are usually my clients, but as I said, everybody is welcome. Usually, well, the levels of the attendance can be different. There are some attendants with a very high level, others with a slightly lower level. At times, actually had people asking me whether they could take part in the event, even though they had very little Italian and they couldn't say much, but they just wanted to become familiar with the language, start listening, and that's not a problem at all. You can come in this case to read, improve your pronunciation, speak, or you can just come to listen. You're all welcome. So basically, who would benefit from an event like this and in what way? Well, I kind of already answered this question, but whoever wants to, whoever speak Italian already and wants simply to find, the right environment to get some practice, would be interested in an event like this. But also everyone who wants to learn some new vocabulary, maybe improve their Italian, interact with other people through Italian, or anybody who wants to start off with Italian. You could all benefit from an event like this. And basically what I think is that sometimes we begin to learn a language, and it's sometimes hard to find the right situation where we can actually test what we have learned and keep improving, keep learning. So real-time situations can be sometimes difficult and hard to find. Um, in an environment like the one I'm telling you about, you'll be able uh, to to use your Italian without worrying too much of making mistakes, or without you will find patient people willing to listen to you, and you will find people willing to help each other. So that's the right place if you want to test your Italian and try things, make mistakes, but without worrying too much about them. Well, the language used during this event is Italian. However, people attending this event, and usually there are not many participants. There is a maximum number of participants, which is the maximum number of participants is 10. However, there are usually 4, 5, 6 attendants, 5 or 6 people taking place to it. Sometimes even 3, 4. It depends on the day, basically. Um, but they all come from all these people. Lots of these people come from different countries. So I have attendants whose mother tongue is French, others whose mother tongue is Spanish, others whose mother tongue is English. So we all use Italian, but when it's needed, it is not a problem to switch to somebody's mother tongue, maybe to clarify the meaning of a word, or maybe to find the right translation, which might help you, retain that new word. And how does it take place? Well, as I said, it's mainly this event is thought for people to use their Italian. So it's not a class, although I can answer questions you have about vocabulary and grammar. What I mean to say basically is that I don't usually teach something during events like this. I don't make many corrections unless I'm asked to, and I tend to stand back and basically leave the leave most of the work to the attendants. So we start off the event by saying hi, by telling each other how our week went, and then once I did that, usually the participants start interacting among them, and I only get mixed in the conversation when I notice that probably there isn't people don't know what to say, or maybe when there is need for my help, my intervention. But otherwise, the hour is for the attendance. It's not for me to speak all the time, but it's basically for whoever is interested in using Italian to interact with other people. Well, how can you register? In order to register for the event, you will have to log into my website, which is this one here, www.youritalianlanguagecoach.com. Well, something I'd like to tell you is that the event is free for my clients, basically for whoever is taking a list, paid class with me. For all the other people who are still welcome, as I said, everybody is welcome. Any person with any level of Italian is more than welcome to take part in this event. But for whoever is not a client of mine yet, there is a little fee. There is a small fee of 5.13 euros for every single time you register. And yes, and I'd say that is basically it. So, well, if you had any question, any doubt about registering, or maybe if there is anything else you'd like to ask me, which I didn't cover during these few minutes together, don't hesitate to write me. And yes, feel free to get in touch with me if you're interested, if an event like this might be of any interest to you, or if you had issues registering, or if there is anything you want to know which I didn't mention during this little introduction. And as I was saying, I organize an event similar to this one every Wednesday at the same time, 4 p.m. GMT +2. There are 3 types of events I organize, and this one is basically based on the reading of a novel. There is another event called Che ti va di vedere? What do you like to watch? Which is based on bits and pieces of a TV series we are watching together. So in the case of Che ti va di vedere, what we do is we use a TV series, we watch a little bit of it, and then when there is a change of scene, we pause the TV series, we get together again, and we talk about it. Same way, we use the same technique with the book. We read a paragraph, then one of you can be reading a paragraph, or if nobody wants to read, I can read. Then when we find the right point to pause, we stop reading, we get together again, we check together the comprehension of what we read, we check that we try to answer any question related to vocabulary expressions we saw in the novel. So there are these 2 events, one based on the reading of a book and another one based on watching part of a film, a TV series. But there is also a 3rd event we hold every 3 weeks, which is called Due Chiacchiere in Italiano. That was the first event I started to host. In Due Chiacchiere in Italiano, there is no prompt, there is no book, there is no film. We just get together and we freely speak about anything which comes to mind. So every week we host one of these 3 events. This week it's going to be the event based on the reading of a book. Next week it's going to be Due Chiacchiere in Italiano, which means let's chat in Italian. And in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have the event. We're going to hold the event based on the video, on the TV series. And basically, we repeat every 3 weeks. The same event is repeated. So that's basically how it works. For these events, they've never been very packed with people, but it's, in a way, I think it's not it's not a bad thing. I mean, as I said, there are usually 4, 5, 6 participants, so we have an hour to play with, and by keeping down the number of participants in a way, everybody has an opportunity to speak during the event. So as I said, the maximum number of participants is 10, but we rarely got to 10 participants, to be frank with you. So if you might be interested in an event like this, if you might be interested in finding the right place to practice your Italian, feel free to register or get in touch with me if you have any doubt. Thank you so much for your attention, and well, next week I will be holding I will be recording another video like this, which is going to be an introduction on the event I'm going to organize next week, which is Due chiacchiere in Italiano, let's chat in Italian. I already tried to record a video on YouTube on that, but unfortunately had a little connection problem, and instead of the 20 minutes the video should last, the video I have on my YouTube channel only lasts 6 minutes. So I'm going to record another one next week, just to tell you a bit more about Due chiacchiere in Italiano, let's chat in Italian. So I hope this video are helpful, just to explain what's the idea behind these events, and I hope you'll get a chance to take part in one of these events sooner or later, and hopefully you find them useful. So for the time being, bye bye. I'm Andrea Polverini. It was a pleasure to be with you today, and see you soon. Bye.